this is a little bit incendiary, and I'm looking forward to getting your thoughts on this. No, not what I'm about to say, but what's happened is we're hearing that Prince Harry has...
This is a little bit incendiary, and I'm looking forward to getting your thoughts on this. No, not what I'm about to say, but what's happened is we're hearing that Prince Harry has invited the king. In a humiliating and dramatic twist for the self-exiled Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry has reportedly been blocked by King Charles himself from attending a major royal family event, a move that insiders say left Harry blindsided and enraged. Sources claim Harry had formally requested to participate, hoping to regain some semblance of royal relevance after years of self-inflicted damage. But King Charles made one thing clear: there is no seat at the royal table for those who abandon the family and then monetize the fallout. Do you think the king and William will be thinking about, well, has he actually invited him, or has he just said he would like them to come? It is 2 years away, and there are those who say William and the king can always come up with diary engagements. And there are those cynics who say, well, it is 2 years away, adjust your diary. And to make matters worse, Harry's cryptic social media jab, "We see you," only fueled more public ridicule. It's a full-circle moment. After years of public attacks, tell-all interviews, and Netflix cash grabs, Harry is now discovering that the door he slammed shut behind him isn't reopening anytime soon. The monarchy has moved forward, and Harry is still stuck trying to reclaim a role he willingly threw away. According to multiple palace insiders, Prince Harry submitted a formal request to be included in an upcoming royal event, believed to be either a commemorative service or a key public engagement featuring senior royals. The request was reportedly met with a direct and unwavering no from King Charles himself. Now and then, you can't just brush everything under the carpet. The Oprah interview, the 6 hours of Netflix slagging off the royal family, the book spare, you can't just sweep that under the carpet. There's got to be an apology. Yes, the king is sort of commander-in-chief of the armed services, and it would be a good fit and a good show for him to appear. Unlike previous situations where palace aides managed communication, this time it was said to be Charles who took the reins. One insider revealed, the king wanted to send a message: there's no place for half-in, half-out royals. And it worked. The denial wasn't emotional, it was procedural. But for Harry, it felt like a slap in the face. Shortly after news of the rejection began to circulate, Harry, or someone from his team, posted the phrase "We see you" on social media. No further context, no names, but the timing was impossible to ignore. Life can change in 2 years. You know, a day in politics is a long time. 2 years in the royal family is even longer. So let's just see what happens on that front. May I ask you, one of the parts of the story, this was in the Mail on Sunday, I think, the other day, one of the parts of the story was that emphasis on getting in early with the invitation because it was clearly aimed at the palace, perhaps as a warning, perhaps as a passive-aggressive jab. But instead of drumming up sympathy, the phrase triggered a wave of mockery. Social media users quickly turned it around. Yes, we see you clinging to the very institution you trashed. The phrase trended for all the wrong reasons, becoming a meme that symbolized Harry's ongoing identity crisis. The palace's stance has become increasingly clear: loyalty earns privilege. A source close to Buckingham Palace stated, "You can't publicly attack the monarchy, accuse family members of racism, and profit off private conversations." Let's say that the invitations have been sent out. Is it possible that they would already be booked for, I think it's July 2027? The king, for example, would he be booked already, do you think? Firstly, I doubt the invitations have already gone out. I think Harry has sort of indicated and sort of flagged up that he would like his dad and his brother there, then turned around and asked for a seat at the table. The sentiment is not just emotional, it's structural. The royal family is a working institution, not a part-time fame machine. Harry's repeated attempts to play both sides, bashing the royals on Netflix while trying to attend their events, have worn thin. This denial was more than personal. It was about protecting the integrity of the crown. Privately, Harry's relationship with the senior royals has never been worse. His explosive memoir shattered what little trust remained. According to insiders, Prince William no longer communicates with Harry directly, and even Queen Camilla has reportedly had enough of the drama. King Charles, while previously holding out hope for reconciliation, now seems to have drawn a firm boundary. The family sees him as a risk. One aide said, "Every conversation could end up in a book or on a streaming service." Trust is gone, and without it, the door to family events remains firmly shut. Once hailed as the People's Prince, in an extraordinary interview tonight, Prince Harry has spoken candidly about the breakdown of his relationship with his father and other members of the royal family. He says his father doesn't speak to him, but added he would love a reconciliation. The prince gave an exclusive interview to the BBC hours after he lost his lead. Harry is now increasingly viewed as a self-centered opportunist. Polls show that public support for him and Meghan in the UK continues to drop, especially among older generations who still hold deep respect for the monarchy. Even younger audiences, once more sympathetic to Harry's plight, are growing disillusioned by the contradictions in his behavior. On one hand, he claims to want privacy and peace. On the other, he keeps trying to wedge himself into public royal moments he once claimed to despise. The hypocrisy is hard to ignore. And now in the UK, his protection funded by the taxpayer was downgraded in 2020 after he stopped being a working royal. Prince Harry called today's court ruling an old-fashioned establishment stitch-up. Tonight, Buckingham Palace said all the issues had been examined meticulously by the courts. Prince Harry has been met with this royal rejection, making headlines. Harry finds himself in a familiar place, not a victim but a cautionary tale of what happens when you burn bridges and expect an invitation to cross them again. Prince Harry may have believed he could walk both lines, critic and participant, outsider and insider. But King Charles has just reminded him that you can't spit on the institution one day and expect a warm welcome the next. And this time, the king didn't need a press statement to make his point. The silence, the no, and the closed door said it all. According to close sources, Meghan Markle was the one pushing Harry to request attendance at the royal event. The idea, so yeah, for the time being it's impossible for me to take my family back to the UK. I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. And the things that they are going to miss is, well, everything. You know, I love my country. Their presence would have rebranded the Sussexes as dignified, forgiving, and still connected to the crown, just in time for their next media project. But the move backfired spectacularly. Instead of a redemption arc, it exposed how out of touch the couple is with the reality of their standing in the monarchy. Meghan underestimated the consequences of their past choices, and Harry once again paid the public price for chasing royal relevance with a Netflix-style strategy. King Charles's decision wasn't just a personal rejection, it was a public reset. By denying Harry's attendance, the king made it abundantly clear that the monarchy has no time for half-in, half-out royals. The message to the public, sitting here today, 5 years later, where a decision that was made most likely, in fact, I know, to keep us under the roof, But then once we realized that that wasn't going to work, once they realized that, myself, my wife and our kids are happier out. This is not a family for spectacle, betrayal, or emotional manipulation. And the message to Harry and Meghan, you walked out, you don't get to stroll back in when the cameras are rolling. This was a calculated boundary-setting moment for Charles, one that royal watchers believe will define his reign. Behind closed doors, the Sussex PR team reportedly went into crisis mode. Sources say they tried spinning the event rejection as the palace being unwelcoming and unforgiving, but the narrative didn't hold. Leaked details from palace insiders made it clear Harry was not invited because he's no longer considered a trusted member of the working royal circle, with no room left for victimhood, thrown out the window. And that doesn't feel great. You know, whether we agree or disagree, and there's a lot we agree on, there's a lot that we disagree on. But that aside, where is the duty of care? Because, as I said, life is precious. The Sussexes were forced to retreat into vague statements and awkward silence. And once again, Harry's reputation took the hit. Another failed attempt at royal redemption. Another round of bad press. The public's patience with Harry is wearing thin. While working royals like Princess Anne and Prince William continue to carry out hundreds of engagements a year, Harry is seen flying private, suing tabloids, and filming in luxury homes. The contrast couldn't be more jarring. One headline read, "Harry wants the prestige, not the pressure." And royal fans agree. His attempts to step into royal moments without the responsibility are now seen as self-serving. Due with the fact that you're no longer a working royal, whether I have an official role or not is irrelevant to the threats, risks, and impact on the reputation of the UK if something was to happen. And again, that is proven by all of the examples that exist out there. So for me, having an official, his credibility as a modern royal is crumbling because modern royals show up, serve, and sacrifice. Harry just shows up when it's convenient. This rejection may mark a turning point. Palace aides have hinted that King Charles is now focused on a slimmed-down monarchy, one that doesn't include ex-royals who traded tradition for television deals. If Harry continues on this path, more rejections will follow. No trooping the colour, no balcony appearances, no invitations to family ceremonies beyond the bare minimum. This isn't exile by force. It's the natural result of choices. Harry and Meghan, I've served my country for 35 years. I believe that I am still continuing to serve my country. Public service is my life. That is the dedication that will never change. And then all the other bits and pieces that are added to that, they are very, very real. They made their choice, made for fame, freedom, and control, and now they must live with those choices alone. Harry's fairy tale of returning to the royal family in glory has shattered because the royals have moved on, and he still hasn't. King Charles has drawn the line. The door is closed. The answer is no. And "we see you" has never sounded more hollow. If this latest drama proves anything, it's that actions have consequences, even for princes. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made their choice. They walked away from royal duty, embraced Hollywood deals, and built a brand on tearing down the institution they once called home. And now they want back in on their own terms. But the monarchy isn't a revolving door. King Charles just made that crystal clear. So here's the question we all need to ask. Feistly I'm devastated. Not so much as devastated as the... How many times can someone betray their roots before they are no longer welcome back? And more importantly, how long will Harry keep chasing the very system he claimed to despise? If you're as fed up with the Sussex hypocrisy as the rest of the world, share this story. Discuss it and speak up. This isn't just royal gossip. It's a modern lesson in accountability, loyalty, and what happens when image takes priority over integrity. Don't let the PR spin cloud the truth. Stay alert, stay informed, because while Harry says, "We see you," the world is finally seeing him clearly, and it's not flattering.